what were you guys trying to get to with the shot with Kevin late?
Get him the ball on a cross match, preferably, but they did a good job at denying. Jabari did exactly what we wanted. We knew either they would switch Williamson on to Kevin. They didn't. They stayed with him. He flashed back. Kevin obviously did a good job getting open, getting the ball, and then our spacing was great behind it. Had everybody flat. Plenty of room to operate for him, and if they doubled, we'd have an open kick and shot there.
And then forced 2 turnovers, one by Ime, one by Durant. What did you see on those 2 plays, and what do they allow for you guys to do?
Good physicality. We told the refs we're not fouling, we're trapping, and we had I think 20+ seconds at that point. Decent job by Ime staying connected to Murray there, and Kevin came to trap, so he saw the trap come and tried to spin out and stepped on the sideline. So good job not fouling. Plenty of time to go after the trap or create that turnover. And then the one with Durant, him and Ime did a good job denying. I think it was Bay tried to sell it a little bit and stop in front of Durant and let the ball go, but credit the refs for not getting tricked by that and went out of bounds and obviously gave us a chance.
Just in general, how much of a luxury is it to be able to, in those moments, just hand the ball to KD and let him do his thing?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a decent shot, and he's done that this year. He's made some, he's missed some, but his make or miss is really going to be on him, not really the defense. He can get to a spot and kind of pull up there. I think, we just have to be ready for the hits and the late blitzes, and I think as long as our spacing's right, he'll make the right read. He'll take the shot if he's by himself. If they hit, we got guys open, and he has confidence in making the pass to knock that down.
And they're kind of unique where they start small and they're able to play small a lot of the game. And y'all obviously didn't have LP tonight. How do you guys kind of handle that, just having a different style of play with the way they approach it and having to, play without LP tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine for us defensively because they didn't, start with too many bigs out there. Williamson at the 5, so we could switch all the actions. And I think we did a pretty good job in the first half, holding the 49 there. And that was with Murray going off for 19. So we did a good job on everybody else. I think, our versatility allows that for us. We didn't start Reed, one of our smaller guys, and we didn't start Clint, one of our bigger, so we could switch all those actions with their small lineup. And then when they bring the bigs in, Clint could come in and play against Misi and some of the other bigs.
Coach, in terms of the spacing around Kevin for the final shot, are there ways to recreate that earlier in the clutch? Because obviously, the last 5 minutes of gameplay, some of the on-off numbers, but are there ways to create those advantageous possessions earlier in the clutch?
Yeah, I mean, they were hitting pretty early on Kevin. Excuse me. And going after him quite a bit. So I think, they wanted to make other guys make them pay. I think they went zone quite a bit. We got some open looks out of it, but, we brought it up higher toward half court and gave them a little more room to operate. It's their choice at the end of the game if they're going to go after him or not, and we're prepared for both. Sorry. Yes. Long story. Yes.
Reed had been struggling a little bit the last couple of games. How good was it to see him get his confidence back tonight?
I don't think his confidence was ever rattled. Missing shots is missing shots. You're going to have some off games, but he's doing all the right things, still being aggressive, taking those shots. Made some really good plays in the pick and roll tonight, and then defended against some bigger guys tonight. And so, I wouldn't say his confidence was ever gone. He just made shots and missed them, and that's been the case with a lot of guys. And so he stayed the course, and eventually the worm was going to turn.
Amen, 2 of 3 from 3. Have you seen more willingness from him of late to say, hey, if they're going to leave me alone in the corner, I'm going to take it?
Yeah, but it's a balance. We want him to strike that balance of, slashing behind the defense to help or taking it. Obviously, late shot clock determines that somewhat, but a lot of times with them rotating off him in the corner, they're a team that rotates and helps off everybody, so of course they're going to do it off on men, but don't settle for it. Slash behind if you can, but obviously those late shot clock ones, we want him to step up and knock it down and be confident shooting it.
Just 19 minutes for Tari. What were you seeing or not seeing with him that led to that lower minute total?
I think, it was just playing the hot hand, and we like some of the other lineups too with Josh and Dorian. I think everybody's kind of struggled a little bit with Williamson when he started to put his head down there, and he had an off shooting night, and so I went with the other guys who were a little bit hotter.
Another one of those games where you guys could have let it slip away, but were able to come back and close it out. Not really matter who it's against, but how is it important for you guys to have more of those kind of finishes as you get to this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to maintain the lead, and I think we were up 8 late, and they went on a 6-0 run pretty quickly, cut it down. It was back and forth from there, but sometimes it's as simple as making shots, and we had a ton of wide open ones. And like I said, they were going after Kevin and then playing some zone. We got open looks in the corners, a few things at the rim we missed, which would obviously extend the lead and not make it as tight of a game. But it's important to play, situational basketball in the clutch there, and that's why it took so long to get in here. We had a nice little film session and really looked at our last 5 possessions of offense and defense and the things we did well to, not hang our heads and fold in that situation and do it on both ends to get the win.
Yeah, with the spacing you guys had, how important was Amen's just downhill pressure all night, his ability just to get to the rim and create opportunities for himself and others?
Yeah, I mean, when we start with that small lineup, we're doing similar things that New Orleans does, playing shooters around Williamson and allowing him to get downhill. It's the same thing with the men there. Guys don't want to leave Kevin's body, so he's able to get down there. And with Williamson at the 5, they don't have a ton of rim protection until they bring Misi in. And so that was a point of emphasis. Our points in the paint touches in general was really good in the first half. And being able to get in attack mode, and then when the help came, we made some really nice passes. And so a game like tonight with a smaller team, it's great to have a guy like him just getting to the basket and attacking like he was. Thank you.